late 70s, the subways were un miserable. It was just an attack on your senses first. The smell of urine, defecation. There would be graffiti everywhere, broken windows. The gangs would patrol up and down the trains, and they would control certain lines, and you would never see a cop. The Guardian Angels started, in fact, right here in the Bronx. And I was a night manager of Mickey D's McDonald's, and I just decided to organize my closing crew to ride this very same train. It used to be called the Muggers Express, the number 4 train. This was our baptism in fire. This was the epicenter of criminal and gang activity in the late 70s. Whereas the subways have improved measurably from what it was like when we first started. Now there are pervs out there, and they flash themselves to women. So we have a perv busters unit comprised of women, led by women who prioritize that. Because what we want to do is empower women to fight back.
Perv busters, it's catchy, it gets people to stop and notice, and it makes sense. Sexual assaults on the subway are on the rise, and they're very daring. They want to be on social media. They want to be out there. It's really nuts. So usually, sometimes on patrol, we go after 1 or 2 pervs a night.
We have 2 different events going on simultaneously.
We get a lot of photos and calls sent to us. We obviously have to make sure they're legitimate, and then that's when we put out the flyer and we go out to the location of, said incident and take it from there.
We're going to get off at 190th.
It's not taken seriously so much because they know our great state of New York is not enforcing sexual crimes. They know they're not going to get charged seriously. They're back and forth. It's a revolving door. The first significant moment was when I was 5 years old and my sister was 8. We were with our mom coming up the subway stairs at 183rd by the old Carvel there. We were on either side of our mom, and my mom was in the middle, and we were coming up the stairs. Halfway up these stairs right here is where a guy passed us. He grabbed my mother's purse and pulled her back down the stairs. It's like I can still remember me and my sister were screaming, and we were scared because something really bad happened to my mother. And even to this day, it just gets to me. That's all I remember is screaming, and my mother, thankfully, she wasn't really seriously injured. But something like that, if it affects me to this day, I can imagine how what they think is a simple crime as far as groping or flashing, that's with you for life. On any given day, we have roughly 500,000 people riding the subways. We want to make sure commuters are getting to and from safely, keeping anything from happening, obviously, preventing crime, as well as sexual assaults that are happening on the rise. We're looking out for everything, but if we're there and we see it, we stop it.
Ladies and gentlemen, here it is. The 7 train approaching Hunters Point Avenue.
There used to be so much graffiti in the trains you couldn't even see out the window. And naturally, always fights and stabbings and shootings and gang activity. The violence was off the hook. So there's a big difference, but we got to keep it that way. You can't just assume it's going to stay that way.